Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this thing caught my eye. This is kind of interesting here from System Research. The timeline has been pretty quiet on this, but XRP is now the second largest cryptocurrency. And before the comments say it's FDV only, literally every asset in the world goes by FDV, not circulating. It's only crypto that for some odd reason is obsessed with circulating float. So they've got, if you look here, they've got XRP number 2 ahead of Ethereum by FDV. Well, what is FDV? Here it is. In context of cryptocurrency, fully diluted valuation is a metric that estimates the total market capitalization of a project if all tokens were in circulation, calculated by multiplying the current token price by the total supply. And so the point they're making here is that by that metric, XRP is number 2 right now. And for some reason in crypto, they don't use the metric that's used in the rest of the world on all other assets. Very interesting little deal there. So that would be a great thumbnail. XRP already number 2. XRP heading for Bitcoin. Okay. Wanted to show you this, and then I'm going to correct Kevin O'Leary where I can here.
Kevin, let me ask you this. You say start small, but is it safe? A lot of people aren't sure. When I send my money, if I use my money and I put it in crypto, where does it go and is it safe?
That's a great question. And if you try and do this on your own in a decentralized wallet, as they're called, someone will hack you most likely because you don't know what you're doing. To make it safe,
that's not exactly correct. If you've got now, I don't use, I used to, but the core of what I do, I don't use self-custody anymore for a lot of reasons. And so but that doesn't mean that it's not safe as long as you keep your private keys and you don't, let anybody get to them and write them down and all that, and don't take pictures of them and all that stuff. There's a few things, but it doesn't matter how you're storing your crypto. There's 1,000 ways that bad things can happen, and I'm going to show you one after he gets done talking. Coinbase, bad things happen too.
Go to an accredited exchange like Coinbase, something that is regulated, but also that you can see every day on your phone, that has millions of accounts, so it's got real structure.
Okay, now, I'm not saying that Coinbase is not, safe, but it doesn't matter where you hold your stuff unless you have institutional custody, in my opinion, which that's where this is all going to end. I mean, I know we've got the not your keys, not your crypto, and that's fine if that's what your philosophy is, but the way this story ends is the same way the story ended with stocks and bonds. Wall Street's going to custody the stuff, and that's going to be the go-to place. That's how the masses are going to come in. That's just the fact, Jack. Okay. And that doesn't mean that some people won't have self-custody that are comfortable with that from now on. Maybe a lot of people will do that, and I'm sure they will. But this is the truth, and I'm not the only one that sees these. Many don't remember, but a long time ago, a few years back, Coinbase was hacked. Not hacked where they got access to Coinbase's assets, but it was hacked, and they hacked the information on all the customers. I think it was all the customers, where they got names, phone numbers. So to this day, many people who had Coinbase's accounts get these fake texts. Don't ever click on any of this stuff. I have family members who went for this and lost everything. Greg Kidd said he clicked on one of these links and lost everything in his Coinbase account. There are a lot of ways for these bad guys to get to you. And this is one of them. They send you a text or they send you an email and they make it look like it's Coinbase support. Don't ever click on any of this stuff ever. But my point is that there's a way for the bad guys to get to you. You have to understand, depending on where you are, you have to always understand that they're trying. I mean, I guarantee you they're trying. So be aware of that. Look at this. We've seen a very significant increase in investors' demand for gold, and we're seeing very rapid buying from central banks for gold as well, says Goldman Sachs. Yeah, you better believe they're buying gold. Well, here's Crazy Michael Saylor.
What does the future look like to you with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrency in general? Where do you see it 5, 10, or even 100 years from now?
I think big tech is going to embrace Bitcoin. They're going to let you hold your Bitcoin on your iPhone, on your Android phone. It will find its way into Microsoft software, Amazon software, Google, Apple software. I think that banks are going to embrace Bitcoin. So your bank's going to give you a loan against your Bitcoin. It'll buy Bitcoin for you. Insurance companies will start to support Bitcoin. I think families will increasingly begin to see it as their savings account. The yoga studio, the restaurant, the hotel chain, they'll be able to raise capital in order to improve their business and to innovate. And I think that sound money, that will spread through South America, Africa.
He can't make up his mind. Is it sound money, or is it just a gold store of value? Because they've changed their narrative 1,000 times.
Asia, it'll try to China. So I think the future is American values, American technology, not just making America great, but also spreading economic prosperity to the entire world.
Well, Michael Saylor, I want to say thank you. Thanks for breaking it down for us, making it more palatable, I think, to the average person to understand and feel comfortable with, because it really does feel like...
Okay, and then we've got this. This is from Ito Farina. XRP is the real Bitcoin. This is from an email, David Schwartz, back to September 17th, 2011. I've been working on a Bitcoin successor myself. After seeing what has worked well and what has not worked well, you can find some of my public writings on the subject in these locations. I find it very interesting that to this day, only XRP and XLM are the major tokens that have been created on the consensus network. And nobody has tried to duplicate that to my knowledge. And they move together. Very interesting. Here's the Treasury Secretary on digital assets.
As we just heard from David Sachs, the Treasury is going to play a huge role in the future of cryptocurrency in America. But that's just one piece of the bigger economic picture. There's so many other components to consider. So how does it all fit together? Well, fortunately, joining us next is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and he's keeping track of all of it. He joins me now. Secretary Bessent, thank you so much. Look, I think people are getting into cryptocurrency in a very big way. It seems like it's something that's here to stay. So from your perspective as Treasury Secretary, how does it fit into the overall U.S. economy, and where does the government stand on regulations?
Good. Well, thanks for having me on the show. And as I think this administration has made abundantly clear, digital assets are here to stay, and we are going to make the U.S. the digital asset hub of the world. For the past 4 years, the crypto community, digital assets, the administration retarded their growth, and we are set to accelerate that through a positive partnership. And through smart regulation, Senate and House are both pushing through very sound, safe bills to bring crypto and digital assets onshore in the U.S. and to make sure that the U.S. is both the financial and the technological.
All right. And then look, here's this. CEO of and CIO of 10T Holdings. Listen to this.
But altcoins have continued to bleed. There really hasn't been much performance of significance in the rest of the crypto market, which those who look at the cycles would have anticipated happening by now. What do you make of that?
Well, I think a lot of those things deserve to go to zero. And I think their venture investments.
That's what Brad Garlinghouse said years ago, that 99% of these things go to zero.
I think that, they're still searching for their, use case, some of them. I mean, look, I also think it's a problem that there seems to be an infinite amount of, let's say, meme coins on Solana. Even the Trump coin and other coins, they sapped a lot of liquidity from the market. But look, the altcoins, there's infinite supply. So, if you've developed a use case and there's network effect, I mean, if you take a look at some of the larger ones, Ripple, for instance, and other ones that have been around for a long time that have very high market values, they've sort of held in okay. I think just the most speculative end of the market is speculative, and 99% or 99.9% of those speculative tokens will end up going to zero. So I don't see anything different happening than has happened in any other cycle that we've been in.
Okay. We're going to go in the group now. I wanted to tell you that first we're going to talk about what the guys are thinking about what's about to happen with XRP. But I'm also going to show you what I consider to be the 3 most significant things that are about to happen in this country and that will affect everything, the world, but also at least one of them I think will affect everything in a positive way financially. You can kind of see it coming. If you want to join the group through the Patreon, go to daixrp.com. If you want to join it, if you'd rather join it through YouTube, click below this video, click the join button. It's the cost of a cup of coffee, basically. And what was I going to say? I'm drawing a blank. So anyway, you've got an option, and it's the same price. You get extended videos, and you get no advertising on the videos. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.